Mike Isabella is one of America's up-and-coming celebrity chefs. He was one of the finalists on Season 6 of Top Chef.
Perfectly all the way around.
Followed that up with an appearance on Top Chef All-Stars, and now has his own restaurant in Washington, D.C., Graffiato.
And you gotta come to the restaurant to get more.
He's making one of his favorite desserts, deep-fried Zeppoles with Knob Creek Bourbon Caramel Sauce. If you want to make his Zeppoles, you'd better be comfortable with a deep fryer, but anyone can make his Bourbon Caramel Sauce.
I just want to put some sugar. I want an even thin layer of sugar on the bottom of my pan to make it so it's nice and flat. And then I'm basically just gonna let it sit here until it starts to get golden. Now you don't want to work it too much once it starts to get nice and dark. So we're gonna let this sugar here just melt to like a caramel, a base caramel. Once I get to that level, that's when we're going to add the beautiful love of our 9-year casket-aged Knob Creek, which is going to make it a whole lot better, you know.
What kind of flavors does it add to caramel when you put in bourbon?
I mean, you know, bourbon already has a caramel flavor, and it's a classic pairing of like a bourbon or a whiskey to go into sugar, you know what I'm saying, and kind of create and reinforce that. But it kind of gives us more of that oaky, a little bit more savory, and a little bit more nutty flavor that'll, you know, it'll give it, and kind of take it up a notch. So it takes a little time, but it's exciting. You can see, you know, what we got going on over here already. This is that look at that. Yeah, that's a beautiful Knob Creek caramel right there. So I already made some, so we have some to go, but we'll go step by step through this. It's going to take some time to melt the sugar down and keep it rolling.
How hard is it to cook with bourbon?
It's not hard at all to cook with bourbon, in my eyes. I mean, today I'm doing 3 different dishes to give you different feels on how you can use it. I mean, you can marinate, you can cure, you can cook, you could glaze, you could put it in desserts, you can serve it partially raw, partially cooked. So for me, it's not hard at all. It's just fun. And obviously, when you work inside of a restaurant, no restaurateur is going to let you use Knob Creek. Not only myself in my restaurant, I'm going to drink it, but I'm not going to be able to put it into something I cook because you know it's a high end, you know, craft bourbon. So for me, this is like a treat to work with something that you know, at this level. So,
what would you normally cook with for a bourbon?
You know, a lot of times you cook the alcohol out, so you use cheaper whiskeys along the lines to, you know, for that. But, you know, here I don't have to worry about that because I'm hanging out with Knob Creek today. So that's all we have to play with is Knob Creek. So you can see it now, too, as the sugar starts to melt a little bit. Just kind of want to stir it a little bit, and it's going to start to caramelize up. You see how the caramel is, the sugars are... Just want to get everything melted. It's tough on the induction burner. It's coming. It's that nice golden amber. You want to get that nice amber. I just don't want to stir it too much. Just kind of let it melt. Let it all come together. And then we're about to add some bourbon and a little bit of water just to kind of cool it down a little bit. Kind of all come together, and then we're going to cook it down a little bit. And you can see all the smoke. Thank God we have the doors open, or else we'd be smoked down here. And we're almost there right now. I'm just going to pull it off the heat. And little bourbon, you can smell that cooking out. Those beautiful caramel flavors.
Oh, yeah.
Little water in there. Put that back on the heat. Let that cook a little bit. And we'll slowly add some, once it starts to cook down, get nice and rich. Now you have to get the cool, I'm going to add some butter in at the end. I just want to get everything incorporated. All the bourbon, water, and sugar. coming together. And we're going to put some butter in there. A couple nubs of butter. And that cooks down. You want to kind of melt it.
Now you could use this on a lot of other things too, right?
All desserts, souffles, cupcakes, glazes. But you want it's really sweet. So at the end, I'm just going to let this sit for a minute. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of salt just to kind of balance out that sweetness. And let that sit right there.
This would be really good on vanilla ice cream too, wouldn't it?
It'd be great on an ice cream sundae, or even too. You could even. I could throw some pineapples in there. I could take some cubes of pineapple and cook those down and braise those down, and you have these nice sweet pineapples. You can put some vanilla ice cream on it, and then just a little bit more of the Knob Creek caramel right on top. The limits are endless. It's all about your creativity on how you want to do it and what you want to do it with. So that's my point of view on it. And you have a nice caramel. It's going to tighten up as we go on here. But you have a nice little, just coming along. I'm just going to let it cool and chill together. And obviously I have some made right here. That's the art of TV. And we have some beautiful, I'm going to drizzle this right on top of the Zeppoles. So I'm going to fry a couple of those off for you. We're going to toss them in a little bit of blackberry sugar and serve it with a little caramel.
Here's a tip. You won't find this dessert on the menu at Graffiato, but if you ask for the secret dessert special, this is what you'll get.
My infamous donuts, we have a blackberry powdered sugar Zeppoles with some nice Knob Creek caramel on top, and then sweet little treats, a little crispy and chewy and creamy on the inside. So taste one up, and hopefully you enjoy.
For more on whiskey, the people who make it, and even the people who cook with it, visit us at WhiskyCast.com. I'm Mark Gillespie.